Lily was a bright and cheerful toddler with big, curious eyes that sparkled like gems. She loved to explore the world around her, finding wonder in even the tiniest things. Whether it was a ladybug crawling on a leaf or the sound of birds chirping in the trees, Lily soaked up every moment with joy and excitement. On sunny afternoons, she would run barefoot through her backyard, her laughter echoing through the air. But Lily wasn't alone on her adventures. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you're watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. Following closely behind her was Whiskers, a small fluffy cat with captivating green eyes that seemed to hold secrets. Whiskers had shiny fur that glistened in the sunlight, and his tail often swayed playfully side to side as he walked. While other cats might be aloof or indifferent to humans, Whiskers had a special connection with Lily that commanded attention. From the day Lily first arrived home from the hospital, Whiskers had shown an unusual interest in her. At first, everyone thought it was just coincidence. After all, babies are often noisy and full of surprises. But as Lily grew into a toddler who explored her surroundings, Whiskers seemed to follow her like a shadow. Whether she was playing in her room or out in the garden, there he was, watching her every move with keen eyes. Lily's parents were amazed, but also puzzled by their cat's behaviour. Why does he always stay so close, they wondered aloud. They sometimes joked about how Whiskers acted like a little guardian for their daughter. Neighbours would smile and comment on it when they saw the two together, a tiny girl and her loyal, feline friend. The bond between Lily and Whiskers was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. They appeared to share a language of sorts, one filled with giggles and soft purrs. Whenever Lily would fall or stumble during her playtime adventures, Whiskers would rush over to check on her, his emerald eyes wide with concern. It seemed as if he understood that his little human needed him. One afternoon, while playing in the backyard, Lily discovered a colourful butterfly dancing among the flowers. With delight bubbling inside her, she chased after it, squealing with pure joy. Whiskers watched closely from nearby. His ears perked up as he followed the movements of both Lily and the fluttering creature. As they played together, it became clear that their friendship went beyond mere companionship. It felt deeper than most connections could explain. When Lily laughed heartily at something silly she did, Whiskers responded by doing little jumps around her feet as if joining in on the fun. Lily's mum and dad shared knowing smiles when they saw their daughter wrapped up in happiness with Whiskers by her side. There was something special about this friendship, a quiet magic woven between them that spoke without words and felt like warmth on even the chilliest days. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, it became evident that something extraordinary was unfolding between this curious toddler and her mysterious cat. There was more to learn about their bond, something no one could quite explain yet, but surely enough adventures awaited them both just around the corner. As the days passed, it became increasingly clear that Whiskers was not just a typical cat. He had a unique ability to blend seamlessly into Lily's world, following her wherever she went with an almost magical loyalty. From the moment they stepped out of the house in the morning until the sun set in the evening, Whiskers would trail behind Lily like a little guardian, viewing each day as a new adventure. In the backyard, while Lily played with her toys or chased after butterflies, Whiskers would perch on the grass, his green eyes alert. He watched over her with a keen gaze, as if he were keenly aware of every leaf that fluttered in the wind or any noise that seemed out of place. At times, parents from nearby houses would laugh and shake their heads in wonder when they saw them together. "Look at that cat," one neighbour whispered to another. "It's like he's attached by a string." Lily's parents noticed this strange connection too. At playdates and trips to the park, they would see Whiskers trotting alongside their daughter, his fluffy tail held high. No matter how far Lily wandered or what new game she played, Whiskers was always there, keeping pace with her every move. It was particularly surprising because typically, cats were known for being independent thinkers who preferred lounging in a sunny spot rather than following a toddler everywhere. One sunny Saturday, while at the park, Lily decided she would climb up the small slide. She giggled as she made her way to the top, her little feet slipping occasionally on the shiny surface. Whiskers sat at the bottom of the slide, watching intently. As soon as Lily sat down and pushed off to slide down, Whiskers leapt forth like an acrobat, darting back and forth as if ensuring she would land safely. To everyone watching, it seemed he was guarding her from potential slips and tumbles. "Do you think he thinks he's part dog?" Lily's dad joked to her mum as they observed the unusual sight. Mother laughed softly but added, "I don't think he really knows what he is. He just loves being with her." As they wandered further into the park that day, an unexpected game of tag began between Lily and some other children. Whiskers trotted beside them, making little hops and spins but never straying too far from Lily's side. He carefully avoided running instead of staying focused on keeping close to his little friend. The more they explored together, through flower patches and around towering old trees, the more curious passers-by became about Whiskers' unusual behaviour. Many people commented about how rare it was for a cat to be so devoted and attentive to a child like this. Each evening, as they returned home hand in paw, Lily giggling while Whiskers pranced beside her, her parents couldn't help but chuckle and marvel at their extraordinary duo. They were simply two souls creating memories together, yet there was something deeper about their connection that left others puzzled. As nights turned into days filled with laughter and adventure, whispers lingered among neighbours about this little girl and her spirited cat who followed her everywhere, a mystery begging to be unravelled with each moment they shared together ahead. As the days turned into weeks, Whiskers' peculiar attachment to Lily did not go unnoticed by the neighbours. Curious glances and whispered conversations began to circulate through the small community, piquing the interest of everyone who lived nearby. People watched with intrigue as Lily and her furry companion ventured through their daily routines, raising questions about the nature of their bond. At the corner grocery store, Mrs. Thompson, a kind elderly woman with a penchant for gossip, couldn't help but lean over to Mr. Jenkins while waiting in line. "Have you seen that cat? It's always with that little girl," she said, her eyes wide with curiosity. "I swear it's like he thinks he's her bodyguard or something." Mr. Jenkins chuckled softly as he picked up a loaf of bread. "I've seen them at the park. It's quite strange for a cat to behave like that. You'd think they were siblings," he replied, shaking his head in disbelief. The whispers spread like wildfire through the neighbourhood. Some thought it was heartwarming to see such loyalty from a pet, while others were puzzled and raised concerns about whether Whiskers was overly attached to Lily. "Cats are supposed to be independent," one neighbour remarked during a casual barbecue gathering. "What if something is wrong with him?" Meanwhile, Lily's parents remained amused by the attention their daughter and Whiskers received, but also felt a twinge of concern about the chatter happening around them. They understood how special the bond between their little girl and her cat was, but were unsure how to explain it to others, who seemed confused by it all. One afternoon at a neighbourhood picnic, while children played on the swings and adults chatted about gardening tips, Lily and Whiskers became the centre of attention once more. As they chased after bubbles floating in the air, laughter erupted from nearby families watching in delight. Whiskers playfully batted at the bubbles with his paw, leading Lily into fits of giggles that warmed everyone's hearts. "Look at that, he's such a silly cat," exclaimed one mother, pointing toward them. Her friends couldn't help but smile at the sight. "Maybe he thinks he's a dog," joked another neighbour as they all laughed together. Yet behind those smiles lurked lingering questions. Was there an explanation for Whisker's unusual behaviour? As whispers echoed through their tight-knit community, some residents began sharing their theories on why Whiskers was so attached to Lily. Maybe he sensed something extraordinary in her, the kindness of her heart or perhaps even her innocence. Others suggested it might be instinct. Cats are known for their sensitive natures and can sometimes sense emotions or changes in their environment. Despite the confusion surrounding their connection, Lily remained blissfully unaware of the murmurs around her. For her, every day brought new adventures filled with joy and laughter alongside her trusty companion. She simply enjoyed having Whiskers by her side and felt safe knowing he would always be there. As summer continued its warm embrace over the neighbourhood, more families began to notice this unique duo, the little girl and her devoted cat, who seemed inseparable and whose bond deepened with each passing day. The community buzzed with stories and speculation about this extraordinary friendship, while leaving room for mystery as they waited to see what would unfold next in this enchanting tale. Lily didn't give much thought to the whispers around her, or the curious glances from neighbours. To her, Whiskers was simply her best friend, and their days together were filled with laughter and endless fun. She cherished every moment spent with him, treating him as if he were just another child playing alongside her. One sunny afternoon, Lily decided they should have a grand adventure in the backyard. With a determined spark in her eye, she marched over to the old oak tree that stood proudly in the corner of the yard. "Come on, Whiskers, let's see what's up there," she exclaimed, pointing at the low branches that beckoned to be climbed. Whiskers tilted his head curiously but followed without hesitation. As Lily scrambled up onto the lowest branch, she giggled at the way Whiskers danced around the base of the tree, jumping playfully as if he were cheering her on. "Look at me!" she shouted gleefully. "I'm a bird!" From her perch in the tree, Lily imagined soaring high above like a bird flying free through fluffy clouds. Meanwhile, Whiskers stayed close to the trunk, occasionally stretching up toward his adventurous friend, his green eyes twinkling with mischief as he pawed at fallen leaves. "Let's go explore," Lily declared as she climbed down from her branch with an exaggerated leap. They ventured through their little world together, past flower beds buzzing with bees, and across patches of soft grass where they could roll and tumble without a care. As they moved along, Lily discovered new things that sparked her imagination. A shiny rock that looked like a treasure and a ladybug that walked slowly across her hand. Each new discovery made her squeal in delight, and Whiskers would sit beside her, purring softly as if encouraging her excitement. "Look, it's a tiny spaceship," she gasped one day when she found a small box tucked beneath some tall grass. To anyone else, it was just an old cardboard box left behind. However, for Lily, it was now a magical vehicle ready to take them on intergalactic travels. With Whiskers aboard as co-pilot, they launched into an imaginary adventure through outer space. "We're flying past Jupiter," she announced dramatically while using hand gestures, as if steering their ship through stars and planets. Whiskers seemed to enjoy this game too. He playfully swatted at imaginary asteroids floating by. Their playful adventures continued each day with no end in sight. Sometimes they would host tea parties for stuffed animals where Whiskers always received an honorary cup filled with invisible tea. Other times they would become explorers searching for hidden treasures buried beneath piles of leaves. The innocence of childhood allowed Lily to see only joy in her friendship with Whiskers. She was completely unbothered by any adult worries or concerns surrounding them. All she felt was happiness when they were together. Evenings brought cozy moments when Lily would curl up on the couch with a book, while Whiskers lounged beside her. As she flipped through pages filled with colourful illustrations and daring tales, she would occasionally look down at him and smile brightly. "You're my best friend forever," she would whisper softly before returning to her story. Through all these adventures, both grand and simple, Lily's innocent perspective painted their days filled with wonders unseen by others. Pure joy experienced in every giggle shared between a little girl and her loyal cat, who followed closely behind wherever life led them next. On one particularly sunny afternoon, the backyard was alive with the sounds of laughter and the gentle rustle of leaves. Lily and Whiskers were in the middle of a new adventure, exploring their favourite spot by the old oak tree. The air smelled fresh and sweet, with the sun shining down warmly, making everything feel perfect. However, as they played, little did they know that this day would soon take a troubling turn. Lily had decided it was time to put on her explorer's hat, a bright pink cap adorned with colourful stickers that she had received for her birthday. "Let's go on a treasure hunt," she chirped excitedly to Whiskers, who sat nearby with his tail flicking back and forth. With a giggle and a skip, she started to run around the backyard, searching for hidden gems among the grass and flower beds. As she dashed toward the garden, her eyes sparkling with excitement at the thought of treasure, she didn't notice the uneven patch of ground right in front of her. Just as she took a leap over a small rock, she stumbled and fell, landing hard on her knee. A sharp pain shot through her leg, and she let out a startled cry that echoed through the yard. Whiskers immediately sensed something was wrong. His playful demeanour shifted as he sprang into action. Instead of lingering close by as he usually did during their games, he dashed over to Lily's side, his green eyes wide with concern. He sniffed at her knee gently and let out a soft meow that seemed to call for help. Lily looked up at Whiskers with tears in her eyes. "I'm okay," she tried to reassure him, even though it hurt to move. But Whiskers wasn't convinced. He remained unusually close and alert, shifting anxiously from side to side as if he were trying to protect her from further harm. As Lily began to cry softly, Whiskers curled up against her side, purring loudly in an attempt to comfort her. His warm fur pressed against her made her feel a little better, even as pain radiated from her knee. It was as if he knew she needed reassurance more than anything else in that moment. While Lily's parents heard her cry from inside the house and rushed out to see what happened, Whiskers shifted his focus from comfort to guarding. He sat protectively in front of Lily while keeping his eyes fixed on any potential dangers nearby, a passing leaf or an unfamiliar sound, and barked softly at unseen threats. When Lily's mum knelt beside her to examine the scrape on her knee, she saw how devoted Whiskers was being and felt touched by his behaviour. "Oh, sweetie, let's clean this up," she said softly, while giving Whiskers a warm smile. It amazed them how this little cat seemed aware of Lily's pain and distress. After tending to Lily's scraped knee with gentle care and applying a colourful bandage featuring cartoon characters, they all took a moment together under the shade of the oak tree. Though shaken by the fall, Lily chuckled softly at Whiskers' silly antics. He rolled around on the grass as if trying to cheer her up. In that troubling moment, it became clear that their bond held more depth than anyone could have imagined. As they nestled together under the oak tree, Lily feeling comforted by her family and Whiskers ever watchful, the presence of love wrapped around them like a cosy blanket on a chilly night. It was during moments like these that everyone present could sense magic flowing through their connection, a bond unbroken by fear or uncertainty. As the sun hung high in the sky, casting its golden rays across the backyard, Lily and Whiskers embarked on another day of exploration. They were carefree companions, enchanted by the wonders around them. Lily's laughter rang out as she chased after butterflies flitting from flower to flower. Whiskers, ever watchful, followed closely behind, his tail swaying with each step. But on that particular day, something felt different. As they played near the fence, a sudden rustling noise drew Lily's attention. A friendly dog from a neighbour's yard had wandered closer, its tail wagging and tongue lolling out in excitement. Unbeknownst to Lily, Whiskers sensed a shift in the atmosphere, a protective instinct coursing through him. Just as the dog approached, Whiskers arched his back high and hissed loudly, startling both Lily and the dog. "Whiskers!" exclaimed Lily, confused by her cat's sudden outburst. She turned to look at him, her innocent eyes wide with surprise. The dog's tail drooped for a moment, its playful demeanour faltering as it stepped back. In that moment, Whiskers remained alert, watching the dog intently as if challenging it to come any closer to his important friend. His green eyes glinted with resolve, contrasting against his fluffy fur that seemed ruffled with tension. It was unusual behaviour for the typically sweet-natured cat. He had always been gentle with other animals and enjoyed their company, so this sudden display of protectiveness left Lily bewildered. "Why are you being so silly?" she asked Whiskers innocently, not fully understanding the underlying warning he was trying to convey. But Whiskers didn't back down. He continued to hiss softly while keeping himself positioned defensively in front of Lily. As if sensing that his warning was heard, the dog retreated a little further back, looking confused but no longer daring to approach. Lily watched the exchange curiously. "It's okay, Whiskers. He's nice," she said reassuringly, reaching down to pet her feline friend. Despite her words, she couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was unfolding between them. After a moment of hesitation, Whiskers relaxed slightly but kept a watchful eye on the dog until it finally wandered away in search of its owner. With the potential danger past, he turned his attention back to Lily. She smiled widely at him. "See? You were just being brave." She giggled and hugged him tightly. With the incident behind them, they resumed their treasure hunt throughout the yard. But unbeknownst to them, Whiskers stayed acutely aware of their surroundings, his instincts still alert and ready. As they moved from one area to another, he walked beside Lily with heightened awareness, occasionally glancing back toward the now quiet dog next door. Lily continued to search for gems among the grass, while Whiskers kept an eye on her every move. His protective behaviour was subtle, yet powerful, fueled by a connection that held layers of understanding beyond what she could comprehend as a toddler. Their adventure went on without further interruptions. However, it became clear that Whiskers wasn't just an ordinary cat. He had an instinctual understanding of danger that allowed him to protect Lily in ways that no one else could see. The bond they shared was intertwined with love and a mysterious awareness that hinted at something special within their friendship. As they settled under the oak tree later on, Lily sharing her discoveries while Whiskers purred contentedly beside her, it became increasingly evident that this day held more than just ordinary moments. It revealed a glimpse into the extraordinary connection between a little girl and her devoted cat, one that would only grow stronger with time and experience. As the days passed, the whispers from the neighbours grew louder, and curiosity about Whiskers' behaviour continued to spread throughout the community. One afternoon, while Lily played in the yard with her beloved cat, Mrs. Henderson, an older neighbour known for her wisdom stopped by to chat with Lily's parents. They all watched as Whiskers trailed after Lily, his fluffy tail held high. Noticing their fascination, Mrs. Henderson smiled knowingly. "You know, it's not as unusual as you might think," she said, leaning against the fence. "Cats have a way of sensing emotions that we can't always understand. It's quite remarkable." Lily's mom raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Really? You mean he can feel what she feels?" "Oh yes, indeed," Mrs. Henderson replied enthusiastically. "I've seen it before in cats. They have an instinctive ability to pick up on changes in their surroundings, especially when it comes to people they care about. Whiskers likely senses that Lily is special to him and feels responsible for her safety." Lily, who was blissfully unaware of the conversation going on among the adults, turned around and giggled as she picked up a handful of daisies. She smiled brightly at Whiskers, who watched her with his captivating green eyes. As Mrs. Henderson continued explaining, she recalled how her own cat had once acted similarly during a storm. "When I was young, my cat would never leave my side when thunder rolled through the skies. He would sit close by me, purring softly as if to say everything would be all right." Both Lily's parents listened intently as they observed Whiskers moving closer to Lily as she twirled around with flowers in her hands. He seemed to be taking his role seriously, always ensuring he was within arm's reach. "It's fascinating how animals can forge such strong bonds with us," Lily's dad remarked. "Indeed, it's like they can read our emotions," Mrs. Henderson continued. "Whiskers must feel a deep connection to Lily. He likely senses her joy when she plays and perhaps even becomes aware when she feels sad or scared." The thought made Lily's mum smile warmly at the scene before her. A little girl swirling in carefree delight and a vigilant cat keeping watch over her every move. The bond between them was beginning to make sense. It was more than mere companionship. It was rooted in intuition and understanding. "Just look at how he responds to her," Mrs. Henderson pointed out, as Whiskers approached Lily after she giggled loudly at a butterfly landing nearby. His head tilted with curiosity, his purring intensified as he rubbed against her leg affectionately. "That's exactly what I mean," Mrs. Henderson remarked with a smile, nodding approvingly at the pair. "Whiskers notices those moments of joy and wants to be part of them, sharing in that happiness while also keeping an eye on her." As the sun began to set, casting golden light across the yard and illuminating their laughter-filled sanctuary, Lily picked more flowers and created a little bouquet for Whiskers. "Look, this one is for you," she declared with glee, presenting it to him with childlike innocence. At that moment everything became clearer for Lily's parents. No longer were they simply observers but witnesses to something beautiful, an extraordinary bond forged by love and instinct that brought comfort and joy into their lives. What seemed puzzling to others now unfolded into a wondrous connection, filled with emotion and understanding, a treasure that would grow even deeper as time went on between Lily and Whiskers in their shared journey together. After the incident with the dog, the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting warm hues of orange and pink across the backyard. Lily sat on the grass, her knee still stinging from where she had fallen. Though her parents had cleaned up her scrape and put a bright bandage on it, she felt a little sad about the whole experience. The excitement of the day had been replaced by a lingering worry that perhaps the world outside wasn't as safe as she once thought. Whiskers sensed that something was amiss. He approached her slowly, his green eyes filled with concern. Curling his soft body around her, he let out a gentle purr that resonated like a comforting lullaby just for her. It was as if he understood every bit of disappointment she felt. "Whiskers," Lily said softly, a small smile creeping onto her face as she scratched behind his ears. "I'm okay now." But deep down, she appreciated how he stayed close, refusing to leave her side even when she insisted she felt better. There was a unique bond between them, one that allowed him to sense not just when she was in danger, but also when she simply needed a friend. I guess I'll be more careful next time, Lily reflected aloud as Whiskers leaned into her touch, soaking up all the affection she offered. She looked at him and declared with newfound determination, "You're my brave kitty." As if he understood every word, Whiskers purred louder and nudged his head gently against her hand, urging her to play again. With his presence providing comfort and reassurance, Lily began to feel braver herself. She took a deep breath and stood up slowly while testing her knee. It still hurt a bit, but didn't stop her from keep moving forward. "Let's go find adventure," she exclaimed excitedly after glancing at him again. With renewed energy bubbling inside her heart, she began exploring their familiar yard once more, this time taking care to watch where she stepped. Whiskers danced around her feet as they moved together through flower beds and grassy patches. His playful spirit transformed her worries into laughter as they turned their earlier scare into something memorable, a testament to their growing friendship marked by understanding and loyalty. In those moments spent together, Lily giggling at Whiskers' antics while he chased butterflies or pawed at flowers, she realized how much stronger they were together than apart. The simple act of being by each other's sides during both joyful moments and challenging times solidified their connection in ways words could never capture. Later on, as the sun began to set further beyond the horizon, painting everything in brilliant hues of violet and crimson, Lily plopped down in front of Whiskers once again. "Thank you for being there for me," she said sincerely while hugging him tightly. In that heartfelt moment shared under the glowing sky filled with sweet scents of blooming flowers and soft breezes rustling through leaves overhead, it became increasingly clear. Whiskers wasn't just a cat following Lily around. He was her protector, a loyal friend who understood both silence and laughter alike. As stars began to twinkle above them, like diamonds scattered across the velvet night, both Lily and Whiskers felt warmth wash over them, a promise that no matter what came their way in life's adventures ahead, they would always face it together with courage rooted firmly within their extraordinary bond filled with empathy and affection. As the sun set behind the horizon, filling the sky with vibrant shades of pink and gold, Lily's family sat together on the porch, reflecting on the day's events. Whiskers lay curled up at Lily's feet, his steady purring filling the air like a soft melody. The afternoon had been filled with laughter, exploration, and unexpected lessons about friendship and loyalty. Lily's mother turned to her husband, a thoughtful expression on her face. "I never really understood how much comfort Whiskers brings to her life," she admitted. "After everything that happened today, it's as if he understands her in ways we can't even see." Her husband nodded in agreement. "It's so much more than just companionship. He acts like a protector, always watching over her and ensuring she feels safe, even when things get a little scary." At that moment, Lily looked up from her drawing on the porch, where she'd been sketching pictures of her adventures with Whiskers. "Mommy, I really like having Whiskers around. He makes me feel brave," she said, with a wide smile pointing at her fluffy cat. Lily's mum smiled back, her heart swelling with love for both her daughter and their devoted pet. "That's wonderful, sweetheart. Whiskers is not just a pet. He is your special friend and protector." The realization settled within them like a warm hug. They began to fully grasp the significance of Whiskers' behavior. He wasn't merely a playful cat or someone to cuddle with during quiet moments. He fulfilled a much deeper role in their lives, a guardian who instinctively looked after Lily's emotional well-being. "Remember the way he rushed to your side when you fell?" her dad chimed in. "He knew you needed him, and he wasn't about to leave you alone. It's incredible how animals can sense our feelings." Lily giggled as she recalled how Whiskers had comforted her earlier that day, curling up snugly against her while purring softly until her worries melted away. "And he told that dog to go away! He was so brave!" she exclaimed, eyes sparkling with admiration for her feline friend. Her parents exchanged knowing glances. In those words lay an understanding they hadn't fully recognized before. Pets could be more than companions. They could be protectors, friends, and teachers in life. "We're really lucky to have him," Lily's mum said gently. "Having Whiskers in your life teaches us about love and courage every single day." "That's right," Lily added, nodding emphatically. "He makes sure I'm safe and happy." As dusk settled around them, the outlines of trees swayed gently with the breeze. The family felt content knowing they had built a little world full of affection and trust. with Whiskers standing as a pillar of comfort within it. In the days to come, they would pour even more love into nurturing this extraordinary bond that had blossomed between them all. Each new day promised fresh adventures and lessons learned through laughter and companionship. Lily leaned down to give Whiskers a loving scratch behind his ears. "Thank you for being my best friend," she said softly. Whiskers purred in response, his eyes shining like emeralds in the fading light. As night fell completely and stars twinkled overhead, they all sank into a tranquil quietness, filled with warmth and hope for all the joys yet to unfold together as an inseparable family, united by love and understanding, both human and animal alike. As weeks turned into months, the bond between Lily and Whiskers continued to flourish, blossoming like the vibrant flowers in their backyard. Each day brought new adventures and discoveries that etched more memories into their hearts. Their connection was a living tapestry, woven with laughter, shared secrets, and the comforting presence of true friendship. Lily's parents often marvelled at how naturally Whiskers adapted to the rhythm of their family's daily life. He was there during playtime, curled up beside Lily as she read books on the couch, and even occasionally helping her finish her snacks. Whiskers had become not just a pet, but an integral part of their home and family. One sunny afternoon, as they ventured back outside for more exploration, Lily suddenly spotted a squirrel darting up a nearby tree. Her eyes lit up with excitement, and she took off chasing after it, calling out to Whiskers. The little cat dashed after her, his fluffy tail bobbing in the air like a flag of determination. It was moments like these where it felt like time stood still, where a simple game of chase transformed into a thrilling adventure that only they could share. As they played together under the dappled sunlight, filtering through leaves, Lily stopped to catch her breath while laughing from all the joy the simple act of playing brought them. She looked down at Whiskers and said earnestly, "You make everything so fun. I couldn't do this without you." Whiskers wagged his tail happily, as if he understood every word she spoke. With each passing moment he was more than just a companion. He became Lily's safe harbour in an ever-expanding world filled with wonders waiting to be discovered. However, not every day was filled with play. There were moments when storms would roll in unexpectedly, dark clouds cloaking the sun and drenching their playful spirits with rain. On those dreary days, Whiskers remained close by, offering warmth through shared cuddles on the couch as they listened to thunder rumble outside. Each purr reassured Lily she wasn't alone amid any storm. One evening at dinner, Lily's mum shared stories about how some pets act like guardians for those they care about, how they could sense emotions and offer comfort when needed most. As everyone listened intently around the dinner table, they acknowledged how special this bond was that had grown between Lily and Whiskers. "It's almost magical how they understand each other," her dad remarked thoughtfully. "It shows us animals can teach us about love in ways we might never expect." With newfound appreciation washing over them both for how deeply entwined their lives had become with Whiskers, Lily proudly declared that if anyone asked her about her best friend, she would always mention her brave kitty who followed her everywhere. As seasons changed from summer into autumn, leaves painted brilliant colours across the landscape surrounding their home. Yet what remained stood steadfast. The unwavering bond between Lily and Whiskers continued vibrant amidst all this change, a testament to the whispers of friendship only animals truly know how to share. United by a love that transcended mere companionship, they finished each day knowing that the real magic lay within moments spent together, inside every playful bid for adventure or quiet shared while snug beneath a blanket during stormy weather, as their extraordinary story intertwined with trust, forever written deep within their hearts.